The first time my husband hid his phone from me, it seemed so small, almost meaningless. One quick movement, one nervous expression, one moment most people would probably ignore. But sometimes, your intuition notices the truth long before your heart is ready to accept it. And looking back now, that tiny moment was the beginning of the end of my marriage. My husband and I had been married for 8 years. We had 2 children. A normal life. Or at least what looked normal from the outside. Busy mornings. School runs. Late night dinners together. Weekend shopping trips. The kind of routine that slowly becomes your entire world. And honestly, I trusted him completely. He was never the overly romantic type. But he was steady. Reliable. The kind of man who made you feel safe. That's why when things started changing, I kept convincing myself I was imagining it. At first, it was subtle. He started keeping his phone face down. Then he changed his password. Then he began carrying it everywhere. Bathroom. Kitchen. Even taking out the trash. One night, I jokingly said, "What's on that phone that's so important?" And instead of laughing, he froze. Just for a second. But it was enough. Because when you know someone deeply, you notice the tiny changes. And suddenly, I started noticing everything. He became emotionally distant after that. Still physically present, but mentally somewhere else. He smiled less around me. Started sleeping later. Replying to messages at night while pretending to work. Sometimes I would wake up at 2 a.m. and see the glow of his phone lighting up his face in the dark room. And every time I asked if something was wrong, he gave the same answer. "You're overthinking." Maybe I was. Or maybe women are taught to ignore their instincts until the truth becomes impossible to avoid. One evening, he left his phone in the car accidentally while rushing inside. For the first time in months, it wasn't with him. I remember staring at it for several minutes. My heart racing. Part of me wanted to ignore it. But another part already knew. And eventually, curiosity won. The phone lit up in my hands. One message appeared on the screen. Just one sentence. "I wish we could spend every night together." I felt physically sick. My hands started shaking instantly. Because deep down, I already understood what that message meant. But I still opened the phone anyway. And I wish I hadn't. There were hundreds of messages. Photos. Voice notes. Plans. Hotel bookings. Conversations stretching back nearly 2 years. He wasn't just talking to another woman. He was emotionally living another life. And the worst part? He talked to her differently than he talked to me. Softer. Happier. More alive. I sat there in complete silence reading messages from a man I barely recognized anymore. A man who still kissed me goodbye every morning, while secretly building intimacy with someone else every night. That realization broke something inside me permanently. When he came back outside, he immediately knew. I didn't scream. I didn't throw the phone. I just looked at him. And sometimes silence scares people more than anger ever could. At first he denied everything. Then blamed stress. Then blamed our marriage. Then finally admitted the truth. And the most painful part wasn't the cheating. It was hearing him say, "I didn't mean for this to happen." As if betrayal is something that accidentally appears one message at a time. People think heartbreak feels dramatic. But honestly, it feels quiet. You still wake up. Still cook dinner. Still fold laundry. Still smile in front of your children. While internally, your entire world feels destroyed. And the strange thing about betrayal is this. Once trust disappears, even memories start feeling fake. Sometimes I still think about the moment he first hid his phone from me. Because deep down, that's when our marriage really ended. We just didn't know it yet. Some relationships don't end with one big moment. Sometimes, they end slowly. Through silence, secrets, and things hidden behind a locked phone screen.